Hey folks, I wanted to come on here real quick and give you some tools and resources you can use if you are trying to sell things in your service-based business. So I got off a call with one of my friends, and what I find that a lot of people who are interested in starting a business tend to do is they get caught up in a whole bunch of things that aren't necessarily work, and then they keep doing that and they feel burnt out. So for example, some people go get incorporated, they're stressing out over their website, they're doing all this stuff, but none of that makes you in business until you get your first client. So your whole goal when you are starting off is to get your first client. And if you spend a lot of time focusing on things that don't necessarily get you sales, you're going to get burnt out very easily. And so I wanted to do this to kind of show people, regardless of what your service is, you can start right now. You can start without a website. And also on the incorporation side, I would recommend that you start getting business before you worry about incorporating. So a lot of times, at least in the States, why people incorporate is to save on taxes and for asset protection. If you don't handle customs first, neither one of those are going to be your issue. So it's possible that you may need to do a different corporate structure, but you need to start getting sales before you stress yourself out with that. And the various government agencies you'll have to work with in order to get incorporated. So not to bore you with that, let's go ahead and get into these sources. So if you are someone who's an accountant, an attorney, or have some type of expertise, you've gone to school for a series of years and you know how to do some things, then you can very well use a software like Acuity to schedule time with people. I do not recommend doing free consultations. If you are just starting off, maybe try to work with friends and get it up, but scheduling free consultations is going to be difficult. So I don't really recommend it. But the good thing about Acuity, there's various scheduling software like Acuity. You have Calendarly, you have all these different scheduling softwares. But the reason why I like Acuity in general, because as your business grows, you're going to want to automate your processes with technology. And there's certain technology that works well with others, and there's certain technology that doesn't. So in my experience, I like Acuity for that reason. It integrates with various other softwares that I use to automate my business. So what I would encourage, if you're just starting out, I want you to make 20 videos, okay? You can put them wherever you want, but I want you to make 20 videos, and this is what I want you to do. You will do your FAQs. If you're in your industries, you are inundated with the same questions over and over again. I know I am. So if I had to list out 10 questions that customers typically ask, I would know what those are and create content addressing those FAQs, okay? And you want to title it if you're doing it on YouTube. If you're doing it on another platform, that's different. But if you're doing it in YouTube specifically, title it the question, because again, YouTube is owned by Google. And so a lot of the things that is done is by search, and that is done by title and keywords. So what ends up happening is people are searching for this problem on Google. And if you have content that supports it, again, you don't have a website, you're on YouTube or whatever platform you're using, you can put them on Instagram, you can put them on wherever you want to put it, then you're answering those questions, okay? You're answering those frequently asked questions, and you're doing 10 of those videos, okay? So the more content you have out there, the easier it is for people to find you. So you want to create something that will make that easy. And then after you answer that question and maybe they see more of your videos, you're going to send them to your link that will allow them to schedule some time with you. So make sure that you are charging for this, because you want to be able to differentiate who's just kicking tires or who's actually serious about making this happen. So that's just 10 videos, okay? The other 10, I want you to concentrate on the things that someone in this industry should know. So for example, when I'm doing digital marketing, I did it for a lot of plastic surgeons, attorneys, and accountants. And so let's give the example of plastic surgeons. So depending on the procedure, somebody doesn't just wake up one day and say, oh, I'm gonna get my nose done. You know what I mean? They've been thinking about it for a while. And during that, they have a series of questions. And where do people go with questions? They go to Google. So if you create the content that people tend to need based on that industry, you'll show up. Now, the important thing is now that you have these other 10 videos, someone who's interested in doing this, there's a whole bunch of other questions they should ask if they are going to get a nose job. I don't know, a nose job or do whatever service. If they're in law and they want to know how to protect themselves, I don't know. There's a variety of things they need to know. You're going to create the other 10 videos of the things they should know, because now this establishes you as the expert. You've just educated your audience on something they didn't even consider. But that helps if you are good in your industry. You got to know what you're doing to pull that second part off. But it's that second part that separates you from, like in my industry of digital marketing, everyone swears they're a digital marketer. And some may not be, but they can maybe do an FAQ. But unless you've actually implemented campaigns and, done a variety of things, you're not going to be able to tell people what they should know when they're hiring a firm to do that. Does that make sense? Hope it does. At any rate, so after you provide that content, you're going to send them here so they can book a consultation with you to go through their business. And you need to make this paid. Again, you want to separate the people who are just want free information versus the people who are serious. But the way that they know that they want to work with you is through that video marketing. So I prefer video marketing. You guys know this, because video marketing gives you a level of statistics and analytics that you cannot get from a picture. You can remarket to people who've watched 60, 80% of your video. You can't do that with any other content. So that's why I'm always going to push video content to you. After you create your 20 videos, it is your job to find outlets where you can continue to put your information. You can put that in Facebook groups, because you're not spamming, you're giving information. And if people want to follow up, here's your link. But if you have a service, if whatever service-based business you're in, you can start right today with your phone, create valuable content that people in your industry would need to know. So if you're an accountant, it's not just enough to say you're an accountant. Is there a particular industry you're working with? So understand there's a big difference between you're saying you're an accountant that just works with small businesses versus you're an accountant that works with small restaurant owners. So if I'm a small restaurant owner, I'm going to want to work with you versus someone who just saying they're a general accountant. And understand your industries are going to have completely different problems. And if you try to generalize what you do, it's going to be really difficult for you to market to the person that needs to see your content. I hope I'm making sense. And I know I'm speaking fast because I got Portuguese class in 30 minutes. So I got to knock this out real quick. So this is Acuity. Again, there's a bunch of scheduling softwares. I like Acuity personally because it integrates with other software to better automate your business. Okay, so that's that. And the great thing about Acuity is that you can have separate links for different services. So I use Acuity to schedule people I'm interviewing. I use Acuity for my own personal calendar. And let's say there's someone who knows me and I'm not charging them, I can send them a different link. And if it's someone that wants to work with me, I can send them another link. So you can make all these different types of appointments and get paid for them differently. In addition to, you can have it so someone is filling out a whole form of information before they're even allowed to get on your calendar and book with you. So you can really use that really great in your business. So I'm a huge fan of Acuity, but again, you can use who you want. This is Celery. Now, Celery is a platform that allows you to do pre-orders. And some people think, like, when you are starting a business, that you have to have this product right now. Again, even if we're taking the same example of you producing content, whether it's video or whether it's blog posts, you want to send people somewhere. And if you don't have a website yet, there are tons of web tools that you can use to send people to so that you can provide your service. So again, if you're doing service-based, we just looked at a scheduling software. Now, what Celery does is it allows you to accept pre-orders, and it doesn't charge people until you're actually ready to produce it. So look, write these down. You can look at them and peruse this at your own time. But I just wanted you to know that this existed. And so you can charge people through here. It connects with PayPal in addition to Stripe. So you just have a bunch of options. Here's your features. Yeah. Anyway, so basically what you do is you upload whatever it is, you talk about what you're going to do. Kind of like what's the Indiegogo, or I can't think of the other one. Indiegogo was Kickstarter. So this Celery can be like your Kickstarter page, and you can create whatever it is you want to sell, and you haven't yet produced it yet, but now you can have people that believe in your process. And instead of it being branded as Indiegogo or Kickstarter, you can do it as Celery and brand it as yourself and your business. Okay. So that's one option if you haven't created what you're creating, but please create it. I'm not telling you to come here and then, not create it, but this is something you can use as a website if you are going back and forth with your web designer, or you just don't know yet, but you still have the service, you still have the product. Here's Celery. All right, and let me show you another one. Now, this is Gumroad, and Gumroad is great for the individuals who have ebooks, or you have a video and you want to sell it. And Gumroad is really awesome because you can come here and upload your digital good, as you see here, whether it's a video course, whether it's an ebook, whatever it is, and you can charge people for that content. So again, if you are doing just the example that we talked about earlier about creating content, and let's say 20 videos, you can upload an ebook that will further make your point more valid. You can create this product, a video course, whatever it is you want to do. But the main purpose you have to remember is that you have to market yourself. And if you have content is the best way to market yourself. And it's the free way to do it. It is time consuming. Not even gonna lie to you. It is extremely, extremely time consuming. But when you create this content, each content you create is your 24-hour, 7 days a week salesperson. Okay, so every video, even on this channel, as you see with this, I find people who will see a video that I did, almost a year ago, because I have content. And the more content you have, I want you to think of content like the assets for your business. So use the content to bring people back into something you own. And then you can use these various websites. And these are just examples, guys. You can use whatever you want to use, but I don't want people to not have a website or not having whatever your reason is that you're not out here giving your gifts to the world, whatever you making up. I don't want that to be an excuse anymore. I want you to know that there's technology, there are tools out here, so you can do what you got to do. So that is Gumroad. Check it out when you get a chance. What's the next one? Oh, one thing about Gumroad that I do not like, and let me tell you about that. And actually, I don't know if this has changed, so make sure of that before you check it out. Gumroad did not connect at the time. It could be different now because I used this years ago. It did not connect with like a Stripe or a PayPal. So they paid you through their system. And I think they did it once a month. And I don't really like that. If I give something, I want to get paid relatively quickly. And I felt like the time frame in which Gumroad did that did bother me. Now, again, I haven't used Gumroad in years. Since then, I've created my own personal ways. But if you're just starting out, these are great tools. So I say all that to say, check and see if that's still the case. And that can be irritating. But what you can use is another option. And this is Ejunkie. Now get out of here. So here's the problem with Ejunkie is what you'll see right now. Ejunkie was the pioneer of online selling. I mean, like, I want to say 15 years ago. Dang. Am I dating myself? I think it might have been at least 15 years ago. So before, their website was so gangster, like they did a change and it looks a lot better. But their website used to look exactly like their name, Junkie. It was stuff everywhere. But you could upload all of your digital content and you can sell it on their platform. And the prices are ridiculous. I think the prices are still ridiculous. Let's go to the pricing sheet. And you can actually sell in your, hold on, let's just look at prices real quick. Number of products, 10 for $5 and $10 a month. So you can, again, if you have any digital products, whether it's video, whether it is ebooks, and what they used to do that I'm not sure if they do now, if you had like software or ebooks, it would stamp the name of the person who purchased it. So back 15 years ago, everybody was so stressed about people taking their content that mattered. I don't know if they still do it now, because again, I don't use this service now, but look, this is what it is. Like, if $5 a month to have a platform to just sell really quickly. And guys, none of these none of these tools that we just went over are something I want you to stay at. This is the stuff that you start. Okay, you start with, and then once you create sales and people are coming to your business, then you can migrate to something better. But I wanted to show you some low cost solutions that if you have that book right now that is still sitting on your computer that you haven't put out, I just gave you some options where you can put that. And if you have a business, whatever if you're a therapist, if you're a coach, just go ahead and put the content out and then bring people back to your scheduling. So again, like I told you guys before, if people aren't paying your prices, or if you can't find people, it's because you're not doing a good job letting people know that you do what you do well. And the best way to show people that is video. And granted, you can do it in a written format. It is going to take substantially longer for it to be found in search. Now, unless you want to do some guest posting on blogs or websites that have high traffic, that is an option. But if you do video, I'm talking about YouTube, it's just gonna happen faster. Like that's just what it is. So I hope that's helpful. I wanted to come over to, hey Jen, I just wanted to come over and kind of drop in real quick that tidbit because I had a conversation today and I'm like, look, I want you to know that there are tools out here. A lot of them are free. I think everything I showed you does have a free option initially. But if you have something, just go ahead and put it out there. Like, no, it's about to be a new year. We're going through this individualized economy. And you have to create your individualized brand. And the reason why I'm stressing it right now, because none of this happens overnight. You don't just put your content out there and then everybody's at your door. Absolutely not. It takes time. But if you don't plant the seed now, you're wasting a lot of months for all the search algorithms and everything to start to care. When you start a new website, a new social page, anything, there are millions and millions and millions of people who already have it. So it takes time for the algorithm of any online platform to care. Okay. So if you don't start soon, you're going to be highly upset with yourself because it's going to take longer. All right. And I want you to do it now because things are changing, guys. Like there's just a lot of people losing jobs, businesses are closing down. And when you operate out of desperation, people see that, your clients see that. And I want people to be able to feel good. Because like I told you, I saw that recession, 10 years ago. And this was when it hit me and I was already sad and depressed of losing my business and everything else. I couldn't think logically because I was so emotional. And so if you are in whatever space, I want you to know that there are things you can do now to make sure that you can have a better situation in the future. None of this happens overnight. You guys know I am very against selling pipe dreams. So you need to plant the seeds now in whatever it is you want to do. Okay. So I just wanted to come on here and say that. I got my Portuguese class in 20 minutes, so I got to go. But I need y'all to know. And those of you, I've been getting your emails. Just be patient with me. I just haven't had time. I'm just on the move. And we will do another set of Portuguese classes. It will not be with my group. We are learning. I think we're in week 3 or 4 right now. We're in week 4 right now. So we'll set another beginner's level class. We're just not ready right now. Secondly, I am going to do a YouTube webinar soon. So I'll tell y'all when I get my life together so I can tell you when that will be. But I want to show people how you can make income with a small YouTube channel. Again, my channel at the moment of this publishing is about 15,000. I think I haven't looked at it in a minute. 15 or 16,000. And I make money off of YouTube, but there's a portion that is ads. But because my channel is small, you can't just put all your eggs in one basket. So I want to show you the various opportunities you can have with YouTube. But again, you're gonna have to work a little bit. We doing what? We planting seeds. Okay. All right. Hey, Jen. Hey, Annie. Okay. So now I am here. So hope I'm trying to get my grant writing consulting business started. That's what's up. So I would suggest that there's probably there's nonprofits that probably struggle with grants. Okay. And so if you do grant writing and you're great at that, I'm not sure if you're just starting or not, give that content to nonprofits as to the FAQs that they may have in that industry. I don't know if it's a certain industry of nonprofits, and then what they should be asking, what they should be doing, because that's where you show your expertise. It's one thing to answer FAQs, but when you could say, listen, Here's a doctor, and it's like, okay, we're going to do this surgery. Here are your questions, but here's some things you should consider. When you feel educated, you guys know I just went to the dentist in Portugal yesterday, and she laid it out on the line, and I left like, wow, you know what I mean? Like I'm like so excited. I'm like, yes, I can't wait for you to take this scary tool and put it in my, you know what I mean? Like, because she educated me through the process. I'm like, I totally want to work with her. I totally, want to continue to do that. So just let people know that you know what you're talking about. Okay. Yes. So Ejunkie was a mess. Jen knows. Woo, girl, it was terrible. I see Gumroad. Love it. Yes, Gumroad. I'm not sure how it is now, but just check it out, guys. But I used it years ago. Yes, artists sell their things. Yes. Thank you, Cinnamon. I'm also starting a grant writing. Oh, then you two should talk. Grant writing is all up in here. Okay, guys, I just wanted to give you that tidbit of information. I hope it was helpful. If there are any questions that you have in regards to starting a business, you guys are coming in my DMs and in my emails, and although I appreciate it, I can't take any clients. When I have time to answer questions is when I'm doing a live. Okay, that's when I can take time on my day, answer your questions really quickly, and then head out. But I can't take any more clients. Plus, I charge a lot of money. So I can't take any more clients. But if we come to live, and if you're here, I will stay here unless I got something to do. I will stay here and answer your question for as long as I can. So we don't have any more questions right now. And if you want to know when I go live, just I don't know what it is on YouTube. Hit some notification, I don't know. Somebody tell the people. I don't know what you got to do to people to know that I'm live, because I do it at such random moments when I have a free moment. So thank you, Jen. All right. Hope that was helpful. And good night, y'all. I appreciate you, and see you next time.